Iran launched 3 consecutive attacks on Israel overnight.
Government adopts urgent measures to ensure energy security amid complex developments in Middle East.
Nigerian exporters struggle to overcome hardships amid Middle East conflict.
Hello, so good to see you again in today's news. I'm Hwang In, and here we go, the first headline of the show. On the night of March 6th, the 7th day of the fierce military confrontation with both the U.S. and Israel simultaneously, Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps launched 3 consecutive ballistic missiles attacks towards the Israeli territory.
The Israel Defense Forces, IDF, confirmed that Iran launched 3 consecutive ballistic missile attacks on Israeli territory on March 6. Israel stated that on March 6, its air force struck more than 400 military targets in western Iran, including ballistic missile launchers and drone hangars. The U.S. and Israeli offensive against Iran over the past week has resulted in more than 1,300 deaths and nearly 6,500 injuries. Despite the heavy losses, Iranian officials affirm they will continue the fight to defend their country, refusing to call a ceasefire and ready to face the arrival of U.S. ground troops to eliminate them.
Qatar's energy minister Saad Al-Kaabi just warned that all Gulf energy producers would shut down exports within weeks if the Iran conflict continues and drives oil to $150 a barrel.
Saad Al-Kaabi stated that oil prices could surge to $150 per barrel within 2 to 3 weeks if oil tankers are unable to pass through the Strait of Hormuz, as this vital oil export route connects the Gulf's largest oil producers with the Gulf of Oman and the Arabian Sea. The conflict between U.S., Israeli and Iranian forces continues to cause widespread disruption across the Middle East, leading to the near-total closure of the Strait of Hormuz. According to Al-Kaabi, the risk of disruption in the strait is becoming increasingly serious as the fighting in the Middle East continues to spread.
The Vietnamese government has issued a resolution outlining a series of urgent measures aimed at responding to the ongoing conflict in the Middle East and ensuring the national energy security.
Specifically, the government requires oil owners to sell their portion of crude oil in the Vietnamese market for types of crude that meet the needs and processing technologies of domestic refineries. Additionally, the Vietnam Oil and Gas Group, PVN, and its subsidiaries are permitted to flexibly trade, export, and import crude oil and raw materials to ensure uninterrupted petroleum production. Notably, the petroleum price management mechanism will become more flexible if the base price increases by 7% or more. The Ministry of Industry and Trade, in coordination with the Ministry of Finance, will adjust prices immediately to align with the market. If the increase is below 7%, price management will continue to be conducted periodically every Thursday. The government has also tasked the Ministry of Finance with urgently drafting a decree to amend most favored nation import tax rates for petroleum products under a simplified procedure.
Upcoming are some updated news.
Amidst global uncertainties, Vietnam's economy continues to maintain its growth momentum. February is the Lunar New Year month, so there are fewer working days. Although the Industrial Production Index in February decreased slightly, it still increased by 1% compared to the same period last year. Overall, in the first 2 months of this year, the Industrial Production Index, IIP, increased by 10.4% compared to the same period last year. Regarding the number of newly registered businesses and the labor situation, in the first 2 months of the year, nearly 35,500 new businesses were registered nationwide, an increase of over 70% compared to the same period last year. Along with that, the total number of registered employees also increased by over 19%, corresponding to more than 167,500 workers. In addition, many other economic indicators also maintained growth, such as tourism revenue in the first 2 months of the year is estimated at 15,000 billion Vietnamese dongs, an increase of more than 12% compared to the same period last year, thanks to the boom in domestic and international tourists visiting Vietnam in the months leading up to the new year.
At the beginning of 2026, Hanoi continues to make its mark on the global tourism map as it was honored by the prestigious American travel magazine, CN Traveler, in its list of the 50 most beautiful cities in the world. According to CN Traveler, Hanoi's beauty does not stem from towering skyscrapers or glamorous boulevards. Instead, it manifests through layers of historical sediment, serene lakes nestled in the heart of the city, and the weathered brown tiled roofs of the Old Quarter. The city further impresses with its sophisticated blend of Eastern and Western architecture. A harmonious balance between ancient charm and modern vitality, and a simple yet identity-rich culinary scene, consistently appearing in international rankings, demonstrates Hanoi's growing appeal, while simultaneously enhancing the destination's image to attract high-quality tourists in the coming time.
A representative from Noi Bai International Airport stated that several airlines have resumed flights on the Hanoi-Dubai route after a 5-day suspension due to the conflict in the Middle East. Emirates Airlines has resumed flights on the Hanoi-Dubai route with flight number EK395. The airline also operated a repatriation flight from Hanoi to Dubai, bringing citizens of the United Arab Emirates, UAE, back home. Turkish Airlines also continued to operate normal passenger and cargo flights to Istanbul.
Escalating conflicts in the Middle East are seriously impacting global supply chains. In Nghệ An, the problem of skyrocketing logistics costs and the disruption of vital shipping routes has become a brutal test for the resilience of the local exporting community. More in this story today.
Trung Hai Nagi and Company exports its products to many international markets, including India, Bangladesh, and various Middle Eastern countries. Therefore, the ongoing conflict is creating significant hurdles for the company.
Logistics costs have surged uncontrollably. Shipping routes avoiding the conflict zones must extend their transit time by 8 to 15 days, pushing ocean freight rates up by 30% to 50%. Some shipping lines have temporarily suspended operations to wait for stability, leading to delays in delivering goods to customers.
Trung Hai Nagi and Company exports its products to many international markets, including India, Bangladesh, and various Middle Eastern countries. Therefore, the ongoing conflict is creating significant hurdles for the company. The Middle East crisis is a harsh test of the mettle of Nagaean enterprises in 2026. However, challenges always harbor opportunities. Those businesses that pivot early, proactively manage risks, and remain sensitive to new market trends will not only weather the storm but also build a solid foundation for future growth.
Currently, the company must constantly update information through various channels to proactively handle orders appropriately. We are focusing on stable markets by boosting exports to regions less directly affected by the Middle East conflict, such as South Korea, Japan, Taiwan, and China.
Besides the efforts of the businesses themselves, the Nagaean Department of Industry and Trade has submitted important recommendations to central ministries and sectors. These include the need for continued close monitoring to provide early warnings and maintaining support policies, such as VAT reductions and credit support, to clear cash flow for the production sector. Simultaneously, we must intensify trade promotion activities to open up safer alternative markets.
The last story to send it our news today. Thank you so much for your attention. Goodbye for now.